When did you move to Oregon?
19 for them, but I don't think the fact that they were underage
was his letter to Juliana. This is your letter to Juliana?
Yes.
Almost no defendant testifies. The advice against it is close to universal, because the moment you sit down, you hand the other side hours of your own voice to work with. Every person in this video ignored that. One wanted the jury to meet her as an ordinary woman from Texas before they heard anything else. One had decided to agree with everything and see where it left him. And one had to sit and listen while his own writing was read back to him in a room full of strangers. This is not a ranking. It is three people who decided that staying silent was the worst risk. All real courtroom tape. We start in Portland, Oregon. Nancy Crampton Brophy wrote romance novels, and the internet has never let go of the fact that she once published a short essay about how a person might murder a husband. That is not what this is. What you are about to watch is the beginning of her own testimony, sworn in, asked to spell her name, and then asked where she grew up and why she moved to Oregon. It is deliberately ordinary, and that is the whole tactic. Before the jury weighs anything, they should have met her. She was convicted in May 2022 and sentenced to life.
Okay. Okay.
And then, because we're being recorded, once you're set up, if you could please state and spell your first and last name, please.
I will.
Thank you.
My name is Nancy Crampton Brophy. That's Nancy Crampton Brophy.
All right. When defense is ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let me know if you can't hear me. I will, because you can't read my lips. Sorry. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Wichita Falls, Texas.
And how big is Wichita Falls, Texas?
It's 100,000, but a lot of that is the air base that's there.
Okay. When did you move to Oregon?
1990 or 1991.
And why did you move to Oregon?
Because I wanted to take a year off, and I thought going to culinary school sounded like a whole lot more fun than saying, oh, I'm just taking a year off.
Okay. Do you remember the first time you saw Dan Brophy?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it.
Culinary school in Western Culinary, which was where I was, had a program where 101 was the first class you took, and it was 6 weeks long, and you were separated out from the rest of the students. So when we joined the students, Dan had been hired either that day or the day before. So it was like we all came together at the same place at the same time.
Had you ever met a guy anything like Dan Brophy before you met him?
No. He was unique.
Can you tell us 5 things about him, maybe 5 things that separated him from the pack for you?
He was smart. He was really smart. And he was funny. I laughed all the time when I was with him, and a lot of people going, what'd he say? What'd he say? What'd he say? Because he was very dry in his sense of humor. He was kind. He was so kind. That probably won me over more than lots of other things might have. He not only thought outside the box, this man lived outside the box. He really did not operate going forward the way most of us did. But the thing I probably liked the best about him, he loved me. And if that isn't a big number one item, I don't know what is, and I loved him back.
How many years were you together?
24 years, 10 months, 2 days.
That's pretty precise. What are you measuring from?
We were friends for a couple of years before our friendship moved further. I count it from the time our friendship moved further. You can be friends with a lot of people, but it doesn't count. Once you've said we're committing to people in other ways, then that's where I start the counting.
Did you and Dan Brophy complete each other or balance each other out?
Completely. I'm a flawed person. Dan's a flawed person. We came together and made up one really good team. His weaknesses were my strengths. My strengths tended to be his weaknesses. And together, it just fit immediately and never stopped.
When the two of you were together, did you try to give him a platform from which he could do his very best work?
I did. Dan was bright. He was funny. He was lots of things, but he was also humble. And this is a man who needed a cheerleader. And I was his cheerleader. And this was not a one-way street. He was mine as well. But I helped him become more known for who he was, and because he would have just stayed in the shadows. He was that kind of guy, and he needed somebody to say, hey, this guy over here, he's really, really smart. You ought to listen to him, you know?
We've heard a lot during this trial about Dan and his demeanor in social settings.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fair to say that Dan was socially unaware?
No. Dan was very aware. He just wasn't a big participant. He didn't need to fill in the blank space. You know, a lot of times when there's a void in the conversation, somebody absolutely feels that they have to jump in and say something. Not Dan. Dan's perfectly okay with silence. So I'm sorry to say I lost the direction I was going there.
Okay,
I'm
let me
so
ask you
sorry.
this.
I was supposed to be paying attention, but I
Let me
went
stop
off.
you.
Okay.
Let me stop you. You've been described as the one who had better social skills, or the front of the house, I think is what someone said, and that Dan was back doing the cooking or
Mm-hmm.
preparing meals or being the quiet guy to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Were there times that Dan helped you socially?
Oh, yeah. Oh. As someone said earlier, I'm a chatter, and I don't remember who said that, but I am a chatter, and I can just start running. And I never met a rabbit hole I didn't like. And there were times that Dan would come out, and he would be so subtle, and he would make this little move, and I knew I needed to calm down, back up, because he was trying to help me not run away with things.
Let me back you up.
Oh, sorry.
This move.
And actually he did it. He did it with this hand because it was a C for chill. And it was real calm. If you were standing next to him, you wouldn't have noticed it. But I was looking at him, I knew exactly what he meant.
You were on your way down a rabbit hole. He had a very subtle way of kind of trying to bring you back.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard that Dan didn't always lock doors. Is that true?
True.
Alex Murdaugh took a different approach to being questioned, which was to agree. Here the prosecutor puts it to him directly that he was generating millions of dollars in fees, and it still was not enough, and that the money he took from his own clients went into the way he lived. He does not really contest any of it. Watch what agreeing costs him, because each concession removes a place he could have stood later.
I don't dispute that either. I just haven't looked at the records.
Okay. But you would at least concede that the money you were stealing was going to support your ever-expanding wealthy lifestyle. Would you concede that?
Did all of the money I stole,
Any of it, Mr. Murdaugh?
any of it? Yeah, I would certainly agree that there was money that didn't go to buy just pills.
All right. And you would concede that even though you were generating millions of dollars in fees, that was not enough for you. Would you concede that?
If by concede that, you mean was I also stealing money that I shouldn't have? Yes, sir, I agree with that. I've said that repeatedly.
Who were the Plowlers?
They were two young girls from Columbia.
They were underage when they became your clients?
Yes, sir.
Did they suffer a loss in their family as a result of an accident?
They did.
What loss did they suffer? Who died?
Their mother did.
And did you get a sizable recovery in the case, in that particular case related to that?
Yes, sir.
You remember how much that recovery was?
I don't.
Got any idea?
I know it was a significant settlement. I know it was a very good settlement, but,
Millions of dollars?
oh yeah, it was millions of dollars. But whether it was, 2 million, I know it was significant. I don't know if it was 8 figures, but I know it was a significant settlement.
And was there a conservatorship for them because they were underage?
There was a conservatorship for them, but I don't think the fact that they were underage is why there was a conservatorship.
You don't think it was because, at least in part, they were underage when the settlement was received?
No, that's not what I remember. But for purposes of your thing, Mr. Waters, I agree there was a conservator appointed.
Well, what is your memory of why the conservator was appointed?
My memory is that the father in this case, who was the beneficiary or a big beneficiary in this, and who was the PR of the mother's case, was an undesirable witness. And there was testimony that it was testimony that he had hit his wife. And it was clear we felt like we didn't want him to be the face of the lawsuit. So we appointed a conservator.
Who was that?
For that purpose, is
Who would-
why I believe we appointed a conservator.
Okay. And who was that?
That was Russell Lafitte.
At Palmetto State Bank?
Yes, sir.
And after that, did you get Russell Lafitte to start loaning you money from the Plower Girls account that he was conservator for?
He loaned me money from the Plyler account. I don't know if I got him to do that.
Oh, you didn't talk to him about it? Y'all didn't talk about that at all?
No, we did talk about it. I mean,
There's emails to that effect. Are you disputing that to this jury?
Mr. Waters, I'm not disputing. I'm just telling you that Russell Lafitte gave me a loan from the Plylers. Your question was, did I get him to do that? And I don't necessarily believe that to be accurate.
Well, who came up with the idea?
I don't know that it was come up with an idea. There was, I think that Russell felt like that it was a sound investment for those girls to charge me a higher interest rate when they weren't getting but so much interest somewhere else. So
What was that interest rate that y'all thought was such a good idea for these girls? Do you recall what it was?
I can't remember.
The reality is that you needed the money, and this was a convenient source to keep your massive cash flow going as early as 2011, 2012. Isn't that correct?
Well, this was a loan, yes, sir. But exactly why it came from them versus the bank, I can't tell you the details without looking at all that. I can't tell you that off the top of my head.
And despite all you were earning, you would even send Russell emails saying, hey, transfer over $75,000 from the Plower account into my account, correct? You remember emails to that effect that you would have to him?
Do I remember an email to that effect? No, I don't remember that.
Would you dispute that there were emails to that effect?
Not if you say there were, Mr. Waters. I don't dispute that. I don't dispute any of this, that I took money that didn't belong to me, that I misled people.
I know that you want the answer to be that simple. That's not what I'm at. We agree on that. We've agreed on that.
Well, no, sir. I don't necessarily want the answer to be simple. I just want everybody to understand I do not dispute that I stole money that was not my money, that I misled people to do that I misled people that trusted me to do that, and that what I did was terrible. Sure. I don't dispute that. It's just the way you're asking these questions, and, there's some things in there that I do take issue with.
Okay. Which part of what I just asked you about the pliers do you take issue with? You take issue that y'all didn't conspire to do that, you and Russell? You
Yes.
take issue with that? You take issue with that? Okay.
I can tell you that Russell Lafitte never conspired with me to do anything. Whatever was done by me.
Okay. So you told the Plowler girls that you were borrowing money from their account? That,
No, I don't know. I don't know that I told
tell
them that.
Russell to tell them?
I don't recall. I don't believe so, but I can't sit here and tell you what I told him however many years ago.
Did you tell Russell he could borrow money from that account too?
I don't remember having any discussion with him about him borrowing money.
Was the supposed interest rate you were paying far lower than anything you could have gotten anywhere else?
I don't even know what
You don't
interest
even
rate.
And Brendan Banfield, who has to sit through his own correspondence. Letter after letter to the family's au pair is put in front of him, and he is asked each time whether that is what it looks like. There is no dramatic collapse here and no confession, just the slow accumulation of a man's own words in his own hand. He was convicted of aggravated murder in February 2026 and sentenced to life without parole in June.
So I'm not going to belabor this, but this is another love letter to Juliana. Is that accurate?
No, it looks that way.
If I can have Commonwealth's 246 shared with counsel and the defendant. Mr. Banfield, this one's 14 pages, so I'm not going to belabor this, but this is another love letter to Juliana. Is that accurate?
No, it looks that way.
Judge, I would offer this into evidence as Commonwealth's 246.
I don't know the foundation for him identifying it, Judge.
Microphone, I just can't hear you.
Sorry, I don't know that he's actually identified it. I think he's just agreed with her statement.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he said, yes, this was his letter to Juliana. This is your letter to Juliana?
Yes.
All right, 246 in evidence.
And here you said that she's your gym partner, helped you to be the strongest in your life. You've never had a consistent partner before.
Yes, that was referring to a gym partner.
I am obsessed with your happiness.
Yes.
But again, all of this is after Christine
I mean,
had passed?
if you look at that, it also is that I declared that she was a hero because in my view, she saved my life that day. I think it's easier to fall in love with somebody that saved you.
All right. And I'm going to have you take a look, Judge, if we can pull this down. Commonwealth's 247. Do you recognize this item?
Yes.
All right. And this is another love letter to Juliana?
Yes.
All right. Judge, I'd offer this into evidence is Commonwealth's 247.
Any objection?
No objection.
247.
Okay, and if we can pull this down. I can have you take a look at Commonwealth's 250. Do you recognize this letter?
Yes.
Again, you to Juliana?
Yes.
And in this one, you're discussing baby names for your future children with her?
That is something that you wanted to talk about.
Okay. Judge, I would offer this into evidence as Commonwealth's 250.
Any objection?
No objection.
250 in evidence.
All right. But you are contending, again, these feelings these very strong feelings, these let's be together for the rest of our lives feelings did not exist when your wife was alive.
Correct.
Okay, and they certainly did not motivate you to kill your wife.
Julian and I weren't even together when Christine died.
All right. You had broken up, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. Did you need to kill your wife to get her back?
definitely not.
You've had multiple affairs, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and one of those affairs was with a woman named Danielle, who you met on a fetish site searching for sugar babies. Is that correct?
I would not call it a fetish site.
Okay, what would you call it?
An arranged relationship.
Okay, but you were looking for someone to be your sugar baby?
I guess. It was a relationship where they would already know that I was married. That was what I was looking for.
Okay. Another one of your affairs was with your best friend's wife. Is that correct?
No. First, he's not my best friend. Number two, they were not married. They were not even together at that point.
They were, is that your understanding of what they believed? Or is that how you perceived their relationship? Did they think they were together?
I don't think so. My understanding is that she wanted to be with him and they were not together at that point.
Okay,
But no, they were definitely not married at that point or anything like that.
okay. But you were married at that point.
Yes, I was married at that point.
All right, thank you. Let's talk about Christine and her apparent decision to solicit someone to fake rape her. You would agree, you have not seen today, nor are you aware of any phone history, computer history, indicating that she was interested in this type of relationship prior to January of 2023, correct?
I was aware that she was interested in this type of thing, but I was unaware of the messages or that she was pursuing this again, as it had been many years since she had expressed those feelings.
Okay, but there is no internet history that you're aware of predating January 2023, correct?
I'm not, can you ask that a different way?
Okay. From what you've seen in court, she sets this up. She's using a profile picture from a gym bathroom with like a Barbie doll. I think it's an Ariel doll in the picture. And that's a photo that she sent to you on that day, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did she have any other pictures in her Facebook cache that she could have used that you're aware of?
I don't know.
3 people who decided to speak, and 3 juries that convicted them anyway. That is not an argument for staying silent. Plenty of defendants have testified and been acquitted, and one case on this channel ended in exactly that. What it does show is how much of a trial is about being believed rather than being contradicted, and how little the two have to do with each other. Everything here is public record courtroom tape. Subscribe for more real case files told with respect for the people at the center of them.